So in today's episode, we get started on that turbo manifold. Now this cylinder head here is from an episode way back when I bought a parts car to do my automatic to manual transmission conversion. Now it came in handy so we can make sure everything's going to fit up nice and snug, not having to actually do the work on the car. So now that the intercooler is nicely mounted up, we can finally get cracking by removing the exhaust manifold heat shield. And now for this older model of Prelude, it will have the two oxygen sensors in the manifold as compared to the 9091 model. Now that that's out of the way, we can go ahead and get started with the exhaust manifold. Now breaking all those bolts loose isn't going to be the only thing we're going to need to do. To be able to actually remove the exhaust manifold in its entirety, the alternator and the power steering pump do have to be loosened and or removed. So I'm loosening the bolts for the alternator, and then I'm removing the power steering pump. You don't actually have to remove it from the vehicle, you just have to get it out of the way for now. And with that out of the way and the alternator loosened slightly, you can get to the final bolts on the exhaust manifold. Now we can get to modifying the exhaust manifold. That's right, modifying. So we have a brand new exhaust manifold gasket to help mark where we're going to be modifying the manifold. The reason we are doing this is because there are no manifolds sold for this engine and no flanges that can technically be sourced. Michael tried for quite a few months to find something and came up shorthanded. So we found something on a forum that stated if you buy an H22 manifold for an Accord, it should practically mount up, with of course some slight modification. So we have our Dremel here, and essentially we're just going to be dremeling out the mounting bolts and any bits of the exhaust manifold so it's ported correctly. Having some compressed air and some lubrication fluid helps us go along much smoother. Now this took quite a while, so if you're doing this as well, get prepared for an all-nighter. Back at the car, we're going to have to remove the Egr connection from the manifold so it can be taken off.
They don't understand, y'all.
Now we tried to remove the bolts the correct way from the manifold, but since it's a 26-year-old car, it was a lot harder than we thought. Why don't we just do that from the beginning?
Trying not to chop it up too much, but this is the chop shop, so okay.
With that all out of the way, we can finally remove the manifold. And look at that. Looking pretty nice. Oh geez, three big old, oh.
It's like Christmas. Well, let's get to the garage. What's this feel like?
Put a bag inside that bag.
They put a flat rate bag inside of a flat rate bag?
Bad exception. Triple bag exception?
Nope.
No. That's why I say it sounded like metal was clanking around all up in there. A little ring.
turbo blanket with some swag.
Oh, 6-speed, dog.
I know. Put it up with the rest of the stickers. Their claim is that while the car is running, with this over the exhaust turbine, you can touch the top of this and it won't burn you. I don't know how true that is, but a turbo blanket does keep the heat within the turbine as much as possible.
Yeah, it's for the wastegate. What's in the box? Another box.
I don't understand why they do this.
What's in the box?
What's in the fucking box?
My dick.
My dick in a box, baby.
This is a 255 liter per hour fuel pump from Walboro. Can't pronounce that properly. You need a bigger fuel pump because when you add more air, you need to add more fuel, or you're just going to lean it out and not make any more power. So you need more fuel too.
So as you can see after modification, it seems like it'll fit, but it's a very tight squeeze. Since we moved the holes slightly over to the side, it seems like the casting of the manifold almost hits the nuts. Now what you see here is Michael grinding down one of the studs just to be a little shorter so it does not hit the manifold.
Like that. Because I got to get underneath and slowly get these bolts to thread somehow. And then you got to carefully thread these ones. I think it's just the top, the two center ones.
That need to be threaded on before.
Why am I with? Ah, son of a bitch.
The coupler there.
Need it to be shorter.
So we got that coupler goes right there. As you can see, it doesn't reach that gaping hole there. So try and shorten it up, but by how much is the question.
Like that. The nose of the pipe, intercooler pipe, all the way to the joint.
Yeah.
As long as there's some enough for the clamp to bite onto, as long as there's something for the clamp to be able to bite onto, we'll be all right.
I'd say go higher first though. It doesn't hurt to cut it, you know, a little less than.
Yeah, I know. I'm going to.
Get around there. Look at that. Pretty straight fucking cut there. Ooh boy.
So this way, you just take. I can take this out, no problem.
Yeah. Just grind into it, try not to take as much as.
Crazy, but lately I've been defending me 'cause take a look around, motherfucker. Everyone's digging me. Pussy, you can't read. I'm a dirty old pussy Grease. Motherfucker still mad like I killed a mom or something. If you really didn't care, you'd let me eat. Here we go again. I'll make jokes about your estrogen. That's pretty much the rest of this song. I'm roasting everything. I'm a weird little one to do that all in the studio.
Easy there, Jeremy.
I've already checked clearance to make sure it wasn't going to interfere with the headlight. I did that a couple days ago. I didn't want to cut because this is too much of an awkward angle to cut at. So, ugh.
Jeremy Clarkson was here.
Alright. I mended it.
Yeah. I'll say you bended it.
You got me back.
Oh.
Karma's a bitch.
Way too overexposed there. Show my finger again. Oh, too close maybe. Hey. That'll be the thumbnail there, eh?
Huh? No. Oh wow, I didn't realize it was going all the way down. You find the turbo gasket in that box right there? It should be in that box. So look like this. Oh, you got it.
Hey, I know what a gasket looks like. What you looking for there in your nutsack?
Actually, I'm looking for some bolts in the bag of nuts.
I feel like falling. I feel like falling. We fall again, we fall again. We fall again. When you turn around, I lose vision. Got me running deep. We fall again, we fall again. We fall again. We fall again.
Alright, we finally got the turbo mounted up. Thank God. So the manifold's on there, turbo's on there. What the hell could we possibly run into next, right? Well, you're going to find out for next time. Thank you for watching. Catch you next time on the Chop Shop. It's front wheel drive.